Hey guys, Chad here from Take It or Leave It, here to talk to you today about a little movie called Skinamarink. This film follows two children who wake up in the middle of the night to find their father is missing, and all the windows and doors in their home have vanished. So let's get down to brass tacks, guys. This film is like nothing else I've ever seen. Does that mean it's the best horror movie of all time? Well, not necessarily, but I gotta say that in 2023, to be getting such an original, non-traditional, and envelope-pushing kind of horror movie like this, that's all the praise that this movie needs. Just in case you know nothing about this movie, you've heard the synopsis, and I don't want to really tell you much more than that, but I will tell you a little bit about what genre of horror this film is in. I would call this a existential, surreal, borderline Lovecraftian analog horror film. But there is one other genre that I would associate with this. This may be the birth of a new genre known as sensory deprivation horror. That description is so important in talking about this film because, look, we've seen existential horror, analog horror, Lovecraftian horror. We've seen those things, right? But this film, it is a film that so authentically captures what it looks like, sounds like, and feels like to be alone in your own home as a child in complete darkness. And it is utterly terrifying from that point of view. This is probably the most vulnerable I've ever felt in a movie. And this film doesn't just capture that sense of vulnerability accidentally. The filmmakers use all of the filmmaking disciplines and technical elements to create this overwhelming effect of having all of your senses taken from you. Whether it's the perspective of the camera, the distance from the subject, the sound coming off camera, so we don't even know where exactly it's coming from necessarily, and the volume, the background noise, the static that is overwhelming, the very precise lighting, the tactical editing. We're looking down a hallway, now we're looking at a wall, now we're zoomed in at a toy, we're back at a hallway, now we're looking at a cartoon on screen. By the way, we're also always hearing this cartoon and this really creepy music playing all the goddamn time. It's all of this plus more that's just layered and layered on top of each other that just keeps coming at you, and I could never get ahead of this film such that I felt like I was at the whims of it. But I can't emphasize enough how much it's that sense of total lack of control, total lack of being able to foreshadow where the hell this movie is going. I mean, shit, where it's going in the next 5 seconds, let alone where it's going by the end of the film. And that's automatically established without even opening up the script, which is actually very important for this film because I think that the script is probably a page, page and a half at best. That's if it's like triple spaced. And you might be asking, well, Chad, how the hell can you care about these characters if there's only a page, page and a half worth of dialogue? And that's a fair question. Here's the thing. The kids are I almost dropped an F-bomb. The kids are effing adorable. They're so freaking adorable, and it's not just that they're cute. They're utterly, utterly innocent. And that is captured in word one with this film. And that was enough for me. Now I care. I really care about these kids now. And honestly, that was a good tactic, you know? I mean, John Wick killed the dog in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and I didn't know anything about those Russian mobsters, but now I want them dead. I mean, look, they found out a way to get me to care about these kids when there was essentially no dialogue in the film. And hats off to them for figuring it out. And if you watched my last video, you know I love movies when they get freaking weird. I love it. Well, this movie just started off weird. It was very bizarre just from the get-go, but somehow in the last 20 minutes of this film, it swings for the weird in a different zip code, and it freaking connects. Seriously, the last 20 minutes go down the rabbit's hole in a really dark, twisted, malicious, sinister kind of way, and I've never felt that sense of, should I be watching this? I don't think I should be watching this. Not like, ooh, I'm gonna be scarred for life, but like, is some Evil Dead shit gonna happen now? Is this film cursed? Like, I don't believe in that shit, but like, honestly, I felt like this film was spawned out of nothingness, and it wasn't wasn't made, it was spawned. That's ridiculous, but I was honestly stopped in my tracks and left wondering, am I doing the bad thing? Do I need to turn this off? Hats off to the filmmakers to putting me in that serious, almost survival state. But that leads to another point that I gotta bring up. This film's not like Paranormal Activity or Blair Witch Project, where there's like a very clear cut and it ends and there was kind of a beginning, middle, and end. This film just exists, and this is not gonna be for everybody. You just need to know that, because this filmmaker didn't consider your thoughts or your feelings or your beliefs or lack thereof. They didn't enter the equation when he made this film, and you just need to know that, so you're not sitting there going, oh my god, what the hell is this? I can't see anything. Seriously, this is so boring. What the hell is even happening? What did they say? Oh, this is so pretentious. Seriously, don't be that guy, okay? Nobody likes a value detracting troll who goes into a movie like this already deciding that they hate it, and then, oh, well, they hate it when they came out of it. Shocker. But secondly, that doesn't mean that if you didn't like this, that you're a jerk or a troll or something like that. I'm just saying, if you're gonna see this movie, go see the movie and be serious about it. Like, give it its due. And if you come out of the movie having done that and you hated it, okay, fair enough. Look, this is going to be an easy movie for people to call pretentious and all that crap. But you know what? I call this film effective because it was effective in making me feel a certain way, and I haven't shaken that feeling since. That all being said, I do have a couple of issues with the film that I don't even know if they're negatives yet. They're just kind of neutral question marks at the moment. But the first part is just that this movie is utterly confusing at times. Like, if you're not paying attention in the very beginning, you're going to be totally lost, potentially at least. And I'm not even sure it gives you all the information that you'd really need, even if you were paying total attention. I think that's by design, but I will say there was a good chunk of the film that I was like, wait, hold on. What's going on with the mom? Is she in the picture? Is she not in the picture? What happened? I'm not really sure. And that took my attention away for part of the film, at least. And also, it should be no surprise that this film started as a short film and was adapted to a feature-length film. It is a very experiential film, and its narrative is not its strongest point. I mean, it doesn't take away from all the other things I said about the film, but I needed to point out that I wasn't shocked to hear that this was adapted from a short film, because it does feel like an extended short film more often than not. And while this film was clearly a very impactful experience for me, I'm not really sure if there's a takeaway beyond that. Like, is there a point? Is there a message? Is there a theme? You know, is there something more than just this impactful experience that I had, which was substantial, and hats off to the filmmakers for that in and of itself. But is there a takeaway beyond that? I'm not really sure that there is. And lastly, while this was a very impactful first viewing, I'm not really sure what a second viewing, third viewing, fourth viewing, I'm not sure what those look like. I think that there's a lot here, and I think that this would be a compelling and even unique second viewing, but I'm not sure how the film holds up on a third and fourth viewing. But all in all, guys, this is a film that is utterly and completely unique, that clearly impacted me a lot. I have not been able to stop thinking about it since I saw it, and yet I'm too freaked out to watch it again. There's something to be said about that. This film is everything that I think the VHS franchise has tried to capture in those films, but I'm sorry, this is like the Raid Redemption of analog horror films. You're just not going to catch up to it anytime soon, and it's surpassed everything else that we've seen beforehand. And despite some of the issues that I had with the film, this was such a unique experience that was so impactful that I can't give this movie anything less than a 9 out of 10. But that's just what I think. Take it or leave it. What do you guys think? Have you seen this movie yet? Have you heard about it? Are you excited about seeing this thing? Let me know down in the comment section. Let's talk about it. And guys, this is such a unique movie, and with those kind of lingering questions about repeat viewings, I might actually do a follow-up review after I see this 2, maybe 3 more times, if I find that my feelings have changed and I think that it's worth talking about again. But that's where I stand for now, and I'm sticking to it. At any rate, guys, thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button, and keep a lookout for my biggest disappointments of 2022 video. That'll be coming out soon. And until then, I'm Chad from Take It or Leave It, and I'll check you later.
Check you later. Check you later.
Hey man, get off my case.
Oh man. Chicks don't want to hear that shit.